Warning, this video contains music opinions. What is up, everybody? It is Twist. It is Robert. Alright, we are here today to talk about Youth Fountain, letters to our former selves. And this is what it looks like. But we're going to just start off. First, we'll go by tracks. We'll say what we like about the tracks. And then at the end, we'll give our full opinions overall. First is Helpless, and I'm going to go ahead and say it's a half song that's basically an intro going into track 2, which is Letters to Our Former Selves. The titles. I actually like this because it's something we did in Masquerade a lot, and it's also we kind of did it with our album and Trigger Digit with the little intro going into For All We Know. But I liked it. Very little melodic diddly. What do you think about the first two songs?
Letters was actually the first song I ever heard. This is what introduced me to Youth Fountain. I just so happened to hear it on a story of an old high school classmate on Facebook. I was like, man, where the fuck did you go? Left me for dead. I was just like, oh man, this is really from 2019? Oh, these guys. And then didn't realize that until I watched the video on YouTube that it had the little Helpless intro, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, it was very, very good intro. I feel like this is the best possible song they could have chose, because honestly, if it's not the best song on the album for me, it's pretty dang close. But I like the first two songs. It's very catchy. The vocals, I already dig that yelled vocals, not screamed. There's a distinction. It's punk, where it's a yelled vocals, where it's it's half melodic, but it's half just yelled because you're really feeling the music. You're really trying to get your intensity across.
So vocally intense.
But yeah, first good song. A little bit of a spoiler alert. Honestly, I think the first 5 songs are all bangers. All of them. They do really good. All right. Yep. You want to tell them the third song?
Rose-Colored Glass.
I love this one. I love this one a lot. It was really cool.
I really like, even more so than Letters, just the lyrics hit really close. For me, anyway. Lyrically, the whole album lyrically is great, but especially the first few tracks on the album, and a few also further in the album. But Rose-Colored Glass, that's another video also that I ended up watching later once I around the first two songs.
I have not seen the videos. I did not do as much research on. Normally I do like to, when I get into an album, I go on Wikipedia and see who the names of the people are. I haven't. This is a band. I don't know if I said this. I had not. I think I did say I have not heard of them before, but this is pretty cool. It's definitely the genre they're in. They do it well. It's very Silverstein, State Chant. It's they do the genre very well. The album, especially at Rose-Colored Glass, just makes me want to be at Warped Tour. That's just the vibe I get. Next is number 4.
Moody.
Yeah, I love this one too. Verse isn't quite as good for me, but the chorus is awesome. It's just very catchy chorus.
I like how, because I had only listened to the first 3 songs from this album, and then Deadlocked more recently, but I actually listened to a live acoustic version of that song. So once I started getting past track 3, I was like, all right, this is all new territory. And the intro, I was like, oh, are they gonna slow things down in reality? And then
nope,
keeps it going.
All right, but yeah, these Rose-Colored Glass and Moody, I think, are, like I said, the first 2, 3 actual songs. They're all just really good. You want to tell them the next one?
Number 5, Worried. This was just it was a great song. I don't really have a whole. It didn't really jump out.
Yeah, here's where I was saying I feel like And here's the thing, you know me, I am not critical in music at all. I actually like super am open minded. I don't hate things. Some of these songs, these next couple, they all sound okay. They do the genre very well, but it's like so stuck onto the genre that they all very much sound like it's one bigger. Now, I was kind of listening. Obviously, we're not in the room, but it sounds very much like they kind of used the same amps and guitars like throughout the whole album, which is an apt thing to do. But you can definitely tell it's like they might have like kind of binged some of the recordings very quickly, because like a lot of the tones are very similar between the songs, which isn't a bad thing. It's just when you do that and some of the songs have about the same tempo, then it starts to kind of bleed into, it kind of like, for me, I can't remember some of the titles to the songs because they just didn't stand out as much. But
that's definitely 5 and 6 for me. Complacent,
yeah,
track 6 as well. I felt like Complacent was kind of all over the place.
Yeah,
like I couldn't really. That's probably the one song on this album that none of them are bad. But
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You literally took the words from my mouth. Like, I don't think any song in the album is actually bad. Like, they're all really good. To me, it's more of like you could just pick any of them from a hat almost, and they're all gonna be really good. You just might not want to, you might not be in the mood to listen to all of them. Yeah.
Between, you might think, Worried. Oh, was that Worried or Complacent? They're kind of similar. I don't know.
All right. Move us on to the next one.
Number 7, Ache. I like how it kind of changed up for me. It had a different little instrumental thing going.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of on the underline.
Yeah, I liked it that it started a little prettier.
It was so short.
Yeah, it was.
I wanted more of it. I was like listening, and then all of a sudden it just ended, and I was like, it was almost how Letters does. Like, by the time I'm just really getting into Letters to Our Former Selves, it just ends. And I'm like, nah, you can, just one more verse, come on.
Yeah, that's a staple of punk and alternative stuff. It's just they like to get to their choruses and skedaddle. Next one.
Number 8, Deadlock. This is the other one that I just recently listened to on their live acoustic stuff that they got, which is really good. I like. Takes me back to high school, and all those great punk bands would also then release those coveted acoustic albums.
Yeah, I miss that.
In love with all the songs all over again.
That's actually what made me want to do music. Would be like a really cool song, and then you could also get an acoustic version of it. I always thought that was just really cool. How like it's not so much now because time has gone. But this is like 2007 for us. Shh, we're not that old. but back in those days, that was like a cool thing. Like even like big bands, big metal bands, everybody was doing it. They was making like acoustic versions of stuff. All right, next song. Furlough. Yeah, Furlough.
I think Furlough.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool little interlude. Kicks the pace back up and leads perfectly into track 10.
Lucid. Yeah, I liked Lucid. Okay.
It's like flowy and intense, back and forth.
Yeah.
And then I also really liked how the lyrics start calling back to tracks 2 and 3.
Yeah,
makes the whole album feel like a story is being told about this kid's younger life.
Yeah, that makes sense because I was actually the few I did kind of Google. It seemed like the singer was saying, this was basically a letter to his younger self as an album. And Furlough and Lucid, I was like, I liked a lot of the lyrics in these two songs. They actually like, I don't know. In general, I've just always liked, this is what I liked about like early Offspring too. It was like, the reason I like those types of lyrics, it was like very real world, something like everybody can relate to, and not like movie problems where it's like, you're so poor, life's crazy, or you're so rich, but like most people live in that like middle, and
Yeah.
so it's just like real world problems. It's like, oh, I got a heartache, or I have parents that don't understand me, or like just stuff like that. Just more normal problems. I always loved those lyrics, and it seemed like these last few songs had a lot to do with that stuff. So
Definitely, especially the closing of the album.
I was gonna say the last song.
Grinding teeth
Yeah.
and blooms. Oh, my favorite part of blooms. That's it. Really just cemented everything when it does that little sound bite saying, "You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be good enough."
Yep. That little soundbite.
I was like,
Mm-hmm.
yep, that's me looking at my younger self, the guy that my dad couldn't stand because I looked like a little freak and everybody made fun of.
I remember.
You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be exactly what they want you to be. You just have to be good enough for
Mm-hmm.
you. You have to be good enough to keep going.
But yeah, just in general. So my thoughts on the whole album. While, like I said, there's some areas where I think it sounds kind of samey, but if you like sit down and like actually take time to read a lot of the lyrics, it is kind of a story through. So it is definitely worth listening to the whole thing. Like, and I don't even say that about like I said, it might sound like I'm saying this album is kind of mid, but it's really not. Like, this is one of those albums I would listen to front to back because it seems like it was written to be an experience. What you're supposed to listen, from first song to last song.
And it doesn't drag on. The songs aren't too long.
No, yeah.
More.
This is definitely a band I'm surprised I haven't heard of more. Like I may have. Here's the thing: I may have heard a song by them and not know because my brother listens to a lot of this stuff too, like this very yelled, pop punky, almost hard rock or hard punk. Like, yeah, he likes that stuff, so he may have showed me some acoustic version of something, and then because the name does sound familiar to me, but I definitely have not heard their electric, like full on stuff. Production wise, I liked that it was like instruments. It wasn't a bunch of samples or a bunch of like it just sounds like if you was to go watch them at a show, this is what it would sound like live, and I do like that.
And definitely they've got live versions. They've got studio live versions of this. It's a little different, but I mean, it's got the same energy. He's a phenomenal vocalist, and they don't always have the dual vocals, but I do like on this album, like with their live stuff, they don't always do the dual vocals, and the acoustic stuff, it is just the one guy. But of course, with us, how we always did dual vocals, not just
it was
some guy in the background. They're actually both
equal
parts of the music, and you're getting two similar but different vocal styles.
I'm actually glad you brought up the vocals because I actually really liked the voices. There's some areas that on a funny note, there's some part like when the clean vocals are happening on the side. I was laughing because the dude sounds like Tom DeLonge almost. And I was like, you could literally put him in one of these songs, like just like deep fake his voice into it, and it would sound the same. I was like, that's pretty cool. I was like, this definitely has like a harder Blink-182 feel. So
definitely highly recommend.
Yeah, overall, yeah.
Letters to Our Former Selves, circa 2019.
Yep, I will.
You'll listen to it, and you'll probably be a little ashamed of yourself that you didn't discover it sooner.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're starting our channel and our journey, kind of going back and reviewing albums that we probably would have liked when they came out. We just didn't know. There's so much music out in the world.
So much out there, and at like 2013 and even 2019, we were still trying to do our own music, so there wasn't as much time to sit down and just be a fan like we used to be able to in high school, and it was all about, hey, this new album's coming out, the new AFI, or the new Yellow Card,
yeah,
Offspring,
and music has gotten easier to produce on like smaller levels. So like a good band can record their own albums. That's where a lot of this music that I like is. It's those bands that are on really small labels or they've done it themselves, and these days they come out just as good as regular albums. It didn't always used to be like that. You could definitely tell when something was indie, but I don't know much about this band. I'm gonna look into more. I would be surprised if they are on some major label. I don't know how it was produced, but
I don't believe that they are.
Yeah, because I've not heard of them before, even for the Warped Tour scene.
They've been around for a really long time.
Yeah, I saw that on their discography.
There's a YouTube video of him doing just a little acoustic performance from like 07 or 2010. Like they've been around for a while.
Yep.
He was really young back then. But
well,
I'm not sure age-wise how close they are to us, but the music definitely takes me back to high school.
All right, guys.
We'll be getting suggestions from other people.
We are Real Twisted Reviews. We ask that you click that subscribe button, ding the notification bell, hit comment down below what albums you think we would like and we should review. Even if we can't review all of them, we definitely might start doing some podcasts where we listen to some, at least get a taste for everything. But guys, we will see you in the next one, and peace. Thanks everyone for checking out another Real Twisted Review. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. See you in the next one.